Of the Huntington Militia. Thank you for coming to our fall muster today on this gorgeous 80-degree day in fall. But today we're also going to be commemorating the 250th anniversary of Job Sammis' house right here being known as the Arsenal. In September of 1775, Job volunteered to use the second floor of his house here as a storage facility for the Huntington Militia's arms and ammunition. Now during this time also, the Huntington Militia is now changing because now we're part of a larger organization called the 1st Regiment of Suffolk County Militia. And now the town of Huntington conscripted at about 3 or 4 companies to this new militia regiment. So again, all of them for the companies in Huntington are keeping their arms and ammunition here on the second floor of Job Sammis' house. Job Sammis was a weaver, and one of his sons, Nathaniel, was also a member of the Huntington Militia. And of course, his house is adjacent to the village green here, where the militia trained and drilled and did these musters. It made perfect sense to have his house be used as the arsenal. His house was used as an arsenal from September 1775 to August of 1776, when the Battle of Long Island, also called the Battle of Brooklyn, happened on August 27th, 1776. But we also know that Job actually hid arms and ammunition still in his house during the occupation of Long Island. We know that the British marched into Huntington on September 1st, 1776. And Huntington was occupied by the British all the way until November 1783, when eventually the last remaining British soldiers left New York Harbor. But we know in the 1930s, in 1930, when they were renovating the house, inside the walls and under the floorboards were found old military muskets. So they were obviously kept there by Job Sammis during the war, while there were British soldiers here in downtown Huntington. The house across the street, almost every single famous British officer from Howe, Cornwallis, Clinton, all stayed in that house at one point or another during the occupation of Long Island. We also know that Job Sammis' cart was taken by the 17th Light Dragoons at one point. So this is ingrained in our history right here, and we are going to be celebrating, commemorating the 250th anniversary, even though it was a short run as the Arsenal, but today it is still known as the Arsenal. As you can see, the blue historical marker right there on Park Avenue. Job Sammis' house, forever known as the Arsenal. We would like to thank the town of Huntington, because this is a town of Huntington site, for keeping this house preserved and furnished in the 18th century, so we can continue the Huntington Militia, the modern reenacted version of the Huntington Militia can continue to do events like this, like our fall muster each year. So in salute to the 250th anniversary of the Arsenal, we will fire 3 shots, a musket salute, and then we would like to invite you onto the village green where we'll fire our 3-pound cannon. Militia, have a care! Shoulder your firelocks! I would ask everyone just on the street just to go past the sign there, please. Militia, have a care! Prime and load! I ask that when I say make ready, that you cover your ears. Present, elevate, high in the air, high in the air. Ah! Prime and load. High in the air. Ha! Prime man, load. Make, ready. Present, elevate, high in the air. Ah! Half cock firelocks. Hammer stalls on. Shoulder firelocks. Okay, secure your firelock on the leisure. Just dump it out. Yeah. Shoulder firelocks. Militia, charge your. Belay that. Fix your bayonets. Shoulder your arms. Present arms. 3 cheers for the Huntington Arsenal. Hip hip, huzzah! Hip hip, huzzah! Hip hip, huzzah! Shoulder your arms. Unfix bayonets. Shoulder firelocks. Militia to the right face. To the left about, wheel, counter march, following me. To the green, to the front, march. Important because I, as the second gunner, was covering the touch hole at the back of the cannon. The cannon has 2 holes. It has the muzzle and it has the touch hole. By me covering up that touch hole, I have now stopped any air from entering the cannon. So when he is swabbing it out with the sponge, he has just created a vacuum that now fire cannot burn in. So anything that was burning in there should now be extinguished, we hope. If I wasn't covering the touch hole, we would not hear that pop, that thud. So that means that I had just endangered everyone on the cannon crew. So after the battle, I would be punished severely. I would be tied to the cannon wheels just like this and whipped 10 times on my bare back to remind myself to always cover the touch hole while we're loading the cannon. Because again, we don't hear that pop. We don't have a vacuum. We don't have a vacuum. Might have something burning down there. We have something burning down there. If we put more gunpowder in, the cannon's going to blow up and injure these men. So very, very important. These first 2 steps are just for safety. We haven't even touched the gunpowder yet, but now we're going to, with our powder monkey, who on the command of handle cartridge will bring the ammunition up to the man with the worm. Dry run, handle cartridge. Now he was called the powder monkey because typically he was actually the shortest man on the cannon crew. Today we kind of got everything a little bit backwards today, but that's okay. But this is the most dangerous part of the cannon loading procedure because it's the only time the ammunition is exposed to the enemy. The enemy is looking for the powder monkey because if they shoot them and that cannon charge, they can blow everyone up. That's why the powder monkey, having given that title, was usually the shortest and youngest person on the cannon crew. Smaller person is harder to see and harder to hit on a long battlefield. Now the man with the worm has the ammunition. He's now going to load it into the cannon. Load. This is a muzzle loader. It loads at the muzzle at the front, not the back like a modern cannon. So now we have to push it down the barrel. Ram cartridge. So you see what he did? On the other side of the sponge is the rammer head, is the wooden end. He throws the ramrod down and lets go. Why does he do that instead of packing in there like you see in the movies? Well, what if we missed something and there was something burning down there and he was packing in that gunpowder and the cannon goes off, the cannonball, the ramrod, and his hands are going to be blown down the field. So he lets go of the ramrod and throws it down, lets go, to make sure if the cannon goes off, he gets to keep his hands. Very important.
The cannon is now loaded. Now it's time to pick and prime. That's for me as the second gunner. I have a brass pick. This is an iron cannon, which can create sparks, but brass does not create sparks, so I can safely go through that touch hole that I was covering and puncture that powder charge. Remember, is a linen bag. So now I'm opening up that linen bag to expose the gunpowder so I can introduce a priming quill, which is a bird's feather filled with gunpowder. So now when I put it in there, we have a fuse. We have gunpowder from outside the cannon through the touch hole down to that main charge. That's how we're going to fire the cannon. After I put the fuse in there, I am going to cover it with my hat, because on a smoky, hazy, chaotic battlefield, we don't want a stray spark setting off this cannon prematurely when we have friendly soldiers going in front of it. We want it to go off when we say fire. And how are we going to fire it? With the lent stock. Did he show everyone the lent stock? The lent stock holds what's called a slow match. This was a linen rope treated with a compound called saltpeter, which is an ingredient in gunpowder. So when you burn the end of it, it burns very slowly but very hot, like the end of a cigar or a cigarette. So instead of having a torch or open flame, that's our fire for firing the cannon. So on the command of make ready, everyone would step back, and on give fire, the match goes down to the fuse, and boom, the cannon will go off. We are going to do one more, what we call a dry run with no powder, just for safety. Then we're going to fire 2 shots for you, but I ask that everyone has to go behind the wheel axle. So no one past that tree right there, and no one past that down limb right there, please. Okay? Dry run, have a care. Militia, search piece. Sponge piece. Handle cartridge. Load. Ramp cartridge. Pick and prime. Make ready. Give fire. Boom. Now when you hear make ready, that is the time to cover your ears with the palms of your hands. Don't put your fingers in your ears, the palms of your hands like that, and open your mouth, okay? You've been warned. Militia, have a care, live fire. Search the piece. Sponge piece. Make sure you squish it around. Good. Handle cartridge. Show and load. Ramp cartridge. Do like 3 or 4 times. Take and prime. Have a care. Make ready. Cover your ears. Give fire. Search piece. Sponge piece. Yes. Handle cartridge. Show and load. Ramp cartridge. Take and prime. Ready! Cover your ears. Give fire! Search piece. Punch piece. Search piece. Sponge piece. Secure the cannon.